Those were the good old days.
Oh man, Matt, you gotta stop doing this to yourself.
I know, it's just that everyone now sees you as the young and hip me, and wouldn't it be nice to just recapture those glory days?
Don't be silly, Matt. You gotta live in the now, you know? You can't go back in time.
Or can you? Happy monstering! And welcome to another episode of My Singing Monsters Live, your one-stop shop for everything to do with My Singing Monsters. We are your hosts, Monster Handler Matt.
And Monster Handler Tyson.
And that's it. That's all that we have on the show
all we're
today.
gonna say.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's a really exciting time because finally, after so many months of anticipation, a year in fact, roughly a year, 12 months if you're paying attention and counting along at home, we have our first ever Life Formula seasonal event.
Quite the exciting day, which we thought originally was just going to be an uneventful a day on Ethereal Island.
Another uneventful day on Ethereal Island. Although, I mean, like, all things considered, if you lived on Ethereal Island, that'd be pretty cool.
It'd be pretty
I think
awesome.
It'd be eventful just to sort of exist.
Exactly,
there in the pocket
exactly.
dimension. But we've got lots of exciting things to talk about on the show today.
Yes.
Of course, it's also Month of the Mythical happening, so we're going to be checking in on the status of the first few Make a Mythical Community Challenge polls. As far as that's concerned, we're going to be answering questions, we're going to be looking at some Creator Showcase stuff, lots of exciting stuff, but the first thing that we're going to do is just revel in the amazingness that is Life Formula.
Yes, beautiful.
Now, many people, handler helpers among them, but the broader scope of humanity, we're wondering where is Monculus gonna go?
Yeah.
Where is its home island?
Even I thought that when I first saw Monculus.
And you think to yourself, and you know when it was first teased. You know, well, actually, I might be crossing my wires here, which is relevant, of course, as far as Life Formula is concerned. But you remember there was like an electrical outage, and that's how Spirit was first revealed, and then people were going, okay, well, what's the electricity going on? The storm, is Wublin Island involved, kind of thing? And then, of course, for a very long time, no, Wublin Island not involved. Of course, those of you who were around for Anniversary Month last year in 2022 sort of started to draw some lines between when certain monsters were on special promotion and which islands were there. And
I might have slipped
you
one.
You might have accidentally, but you know what? That slip sort of helped us to slide into some cool stuff. And you know what? A little bit of that happened this time as well. With Monculus being doubly available on Ethereal Island and on Wublin Island. And you know what? Since we're talking about it, why don't we ask Monster Handler Jen, our lovely technician today, to bring up the there it is. There's the announcement. There it is. So there you go. Life Formula for a limited time only. Monculus available to buy or breed at level 9 on Ethereal Island. But of course you don't breed it on Wublin Island, do you?
No, not at all.
You wake it up. Now, I think the button in game right now says power up instead of wake up, but maybe that's something we'll fix in a future update, because I would compare Monculus' state of being in this case to be more like a Wublin and less like a Wubox. I think. Just in terms of, and perhaps we'll get into this in quick questions a little bit as well. No, sorry, not quick questions. That's your
Wait
province.
a second. That's my thing.
I'm not trying to take your thing, even though you are the young, hip version of me, and I am disdainful of you in many ways. No, I love you. Anyway.
Thank you.
But anyway, yes, Monculus. Very exciting stuff. Now, we're going to get into the broader lore applications of what's going on with Life Formula and Ethereal Island a little bit later into the show. But, okay, we see Monculus there. What else? What else exciting things do we have? We have the seasonal island skin of Life Formula.
Love this skin because it introduces something that we haven't really seen before, and we see like a bunch of blueprints and a lot of like crafting happening.
Exactly. It's the island in sort of mid-Genesis.
Yes.
Right? You have different bubblerite statues on it, which we're going to get into a little bit later. But of course, not only is this a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing island, but as per usual, it comes loaded up with lots of exciting boosts as well.
Yes,
so
exactly.
on this one, just like its other pocket dimension compatriot there of the Crescendo Moon Island skin, its boosts are 10% faster breeding, 10% faster incubations, and of course the obstacles receive their seasonal appearance when this skin is purchased. Now, of course, as per usual, you can opt to just participate in the free trial that occurs for the duration of Life Formula, or you can decide to buy it and own it year-round. The boosts are applied all year, permanently thereafter.
With that design, I think I would do that too.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's pretty sweet.
I think our Monster and the team really knocked it out of the park.
They really did
on this one in terms of capturing the beautiful essence of Life Formula.
And capturing the lore that kind of comes with Ethereal.
Yes, and we're about to launch into that kind of stuff as well. All right, perfect segue. All right, here we go. Next up, we have these Life Formula themed Ethereal Island obstacle decorations locked in their seasonal appearance. Now, some of you who are My Singing Monsters aficionados who have been handler helpers for a long time might recognize some of what is going on here, especially among the rock obstacles.
Right.
And for those of you who are saying, where have I seen those before? Where have I seen those before? These are monster prototypes that never progressed past the prototype stage. And we actually have some never before seen or heard code names that have been assigned to each of these particular figures. So Monster and the Gen, if we could travel, here we go. So these early monster prototypes, of course, fashioned from Bubblerite.
Right.
Designed by the Colossals, and here from left to right we've got a couple of different groups. So that little one in the corner there, that is the skittish Lobe. It's called the Lobe.
Okay,
L-O-W-B.
Lobe.
Yes, the Lobe. And in many cases they sort of act as vestibules, as containers, not a vestibule, vessels, for precious ores, valuable objects, exciting mineral content.
Ooh.
And so there's the skittish one. There's also the Fandle, the crafty Fandle. It's got all four hands there. It's not a crook. It's not a crook, but it does get up to mischief. I'll tell you that much. It's very crafty. It's very crafty. The Fandle.
All right.
And then we have the distracted Bogle. The Bogle there.
Now, why do they get so distracted all the time?
Why? Because it's got so many exciting, shiny things to behold.
I see.
These are the first three. And then the final two on page 2 of our early monster prototypes here. The fearsome Droa. The Droa is perhaps the scariest among these early monster prototypes. I'm sort of happy that it did not progress into the full monster form, but we can sort of admire it from an artistic standpoint.
Yes, of course, yes.
And then finally, we have the kindly Tunifor. This one sort of like, has long lapiform-like ears. It sort of gives it its name, but of course, from a behind-the-scenes standpoint, you might recognize these as the currency packs from Dawn of Fire. And what we want to do is give them a little bit of life, a little bit of backstory. So yes, we've got Lobe, Fandle, Bogle, Droa, and Tunifor here, who sort of join the unofficial cast of sort of auxiliary monsters, ones that don't quite ever make it into the limelight, but they will exist now in perpetuity.
They got to the drafting phase.
Yes, as these glorious obstacle decorations. So
Beautiful.
Just wanted to do a bit of a deep dive there into those and sort of flesh these out a little bit more. I say flesh, of course, in the figurative sense because these are all made out of rock.
Got it.
Next up, of course, there's exciting things going on with Life Formula, but here we have Epic Wisp.
What epic news?
It is epic news, available to buy or breed at level 9 for limited time on the following islands, of course, on Ethereal Island. The first of the double element epic ethereals, but certainly not the last. This one we had a lot of fun discovering and learning about. It bears a lot of striking similarities to a certain human world performer. I'm sure if you read the bio, there might be a few different, references there or name drop things. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it yet.
I have not read it.
Okay, you'll have to go and check it out. I would love to know if the chat correctly identifies who we're looking at here. And if you've already been lucky enough to collect an Epic Wisp on your Ethereal Island, you may be among the very few beings who have ever beheld Epic Wisps deep, dark secret.
Whoa,
There's something about it.
They're hiding something?
They are. Yes, this monster is hiding something.
Oh my God.
But if you get it, you will notice it.
You'll notice
it right away. I'll tell you that much.
But keep it to yourself, maybe. You know, let everyone discover.
You can share it on social media.
I mean, you can share it, but like, you know,
revel in your ownership of the glorious
That's
epic wisp.
That's what I mean.
Of the epic wisp, and of course, the second of our post Wublin Island overhaul launch rare Wublins, we have rare Blipsqueak. Now, rare Blipsqueak, this entirely sort of mechanized being coming out during the month of Mech.
Oh, that's great timing.
Nice. Yes. I wonder if future rare Wublins will have some sort of loose thematic connection with the month that they are released in. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Keep that in mind.
Could be. Could well be. But yes, this exciting rare Blipsqueak is gold-plated, and it sort of eschews some of the organic qualities of its common form and goes full automaton, full mechanized. Even the eyes are synthetic. You might think that they're organic, but no, they're like those eyes at the beginning of Blade Runner.
What I love
they're fake. They're not real eyes, Tyson. They look real, but they're not real.
What I love about Blipsqueak too is because all the Wublins are technically sort of robots.
Yes, they're artificial life.
They're artificial life. So Blipsqueak is kind of like the most like
artificially of the artificials. Yes.
Which is always cool to me.
And of course, it still harkens back to those bizarre transmissions that it heard from the far-off kingdom of Mateland.
Whoa.
Mateland is where rare Blipsqueak heard these transmissions from, which is where it knows to say eyes, ears, nose, toes.
Oh, there you go.
So there you go.
There you go.
Perhaps you didn't know. Now you know.
I do know. And I also, sorry, just to keep it on Blipsqueak.
Sneak it in there.
I did love, because Blipsqueak was not in the trailer at all. Rare Blipsqueak, I mean. So it was a nice, it was a little extra surprise. So maybe in the chat, were you extra surprised for rare Blipsqueak?
Yes. Maybe you've seen it on the loading screen even.
Oh,
maybe it's hiding in there somewhere. I don't know.
It was quite exciting.
Yes, it is exciting. But you know, rare Wublins are always exciting. Now you might be wondering, how am I supposed to evolve my Blipsqueak into a rare Blipsqueak if I don't have any rares available? Well, you have to stick around to later in the show, and then maybe we'll be able to reveal some of that information.
You had me nervous there.
For you. Okay, so like I said, that's all the exciting new stuff that's going on today.
But what about
But of course, month long, we are in the midst of Month of the Mythical 2.
What a sequel.
Of the Mythical. Yes, the sequel that many people were guessing at, that were wondering about, and very exciting that it's finally here. We're a couple of community polls deep, Monster and the Tyson. A few things have been decided so far.
Well, let's
what
recap.
Are they? Our very first poll was, is this monster going to be making its sound by playing an instrument outside of its body or using part of its anatomy? Overwhelmingly, you, the handler helpers, voted part of the anatomy.
Part of the anatomy.
Heard you loud and clear.
Beautiful.
Poll number 2. Is this monster, if it had to be categorized into an animal group, is it mammalian, is it avian, reptilian, insectoid? You overwhelmingly voted insectoid. So read you loud and clear. And the third of those polls launched just today. Is this monster going to be part of a family, or is it going to be not part of a family? Now, a point of clarification here that may influence your vote if you have not yet cast your vote. We don't necessarily mean joining an existing family. It may move on to form a family with a monster that so far has not been assigned a family. So it's not necessarily like it's joining the Pomely or it's joining the Gabroo.
I was just going to say.
I mean, that's possible. But I think if I had to guess, us monster handlers are going to take this opportunity to go down a route and create a new monster family.
Yeah, no, that's always more fun.
So that's sort of an early insight into our design process.
Could you imagine an insectoid Pomely member?
You know what? I totally could.
You could, okay.
Because the prismatic pom-pom is basically exactly that.
Oh, very true.
So we wouldn't even want to do that. I'd been there, done that kind of thing. Yeah. And there's just one final image that I wanted to throw in here.
We did want to address something.
This was sort of a last-second addition here. Just wanted to behold this particular image and remind everybody that if you are a being that has a mechanized suit, a lot of you tends to be sort of malleable.
Yeah, exactly.
And we see it here. We see the rare Rebro has departed its mech suit there, and the same is true of Nebula with its exosuit. You can sort of see rare Rebro's head, its basic intelligence there is perched on top of the suit. But there's what it looks like. You know, it kind of looks like it's sun tanning, doesn't it?
Well, of course it is, because summer sun is in the distance, and it's getting hotter maybe in the monster world.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's getting hot, you shed that outside shell, and you just soak up the rays. Now, of course, Nebula can't do this for very long.
No,
the whole reason why it has that pressurized suit is so that it doesn't sort of just like, blow away in the mist kind of thing. But every once in a while, if it's a low wind day, well, you know what? Why don't you just take it off and just soak up the rays? And
this just happened to happen, during
yes,
today while Monculus was visiting.
And it in no way, shape, or form represents a small oversight on the part of us monsters. Bah. We like to take these opportunities to creatively come up with solutions when we can.
Exactly.
And here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Problem solved.
We are
canon. It's canon.
It's canon.
It's canon. Okay, so that's the first part of our show.
Wow.
We've got another exciting segment coming up.
I think it's time for some questions.
I think it's time for some questions too. I almost said
quick question. Ben!
Oh my gosh.
What?
Ben, when did you get here?
Have you been here the whole time?
I heard the word questions deep within my soul.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Came back.
Sweet.
Wow. Oh, did you just say your life came back?
Maybe
the power of life formula, the spark of life.
Yeah.
Re-energized Ben. He was, what you were? You were just a pile of bubblerite before.
Yes, exactly.
We've given you life. Yes. This was exciting.
Welcome back, Ben. Oh my God. We're so sorry we weren't more concerned.
Yes. Well, you seemed so peaceful, you just kind of blended in with the furniture.
You kind of just
that sort of quality.
Well, welcome, Ben. It's great to have you on the show.
Well,
Monster Handler Ben, everybody.
Do you want to start moment of a pause for Ben?
Yes. Did you say a pause or applause?
Applause.
Yeah.
Or pause if you have your animal
welcome.
friends.
It's great to have you. It's great to have you on the show.
Well, Ben, do you wanna answer some or ask some questions?
Start the first question.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Now,
I'm ready.
sorry.
Oh, yes. Gotta get your knowledge. How does it feel when you acquire all the knowledge?
Kind of hurts.
It's
an overload.
There is a sensation.
Yes,
right.
a tingling sensation. I have to grip the chair as the information pours into my brain through each and every pore. Anyway, pours into the pores. You like that?
Yeah,
That's
nice.
Homonym, homophone. I can't remember. Anyway, go ahead, Monster Handler Ben.
All right.
Hit it.
From truly unknowable. Why did Galvana make the Wobox out of Steptanium versus Bubblerite?
Yes, a recently revealed aspect of Wobox's construction is that it is in fact built out of Steptanium, and it's a rather simple and elegant answer. It's that Steptanium is a better conductor of electricity than Bubblerite is. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, wait a minute, Bubblerite is what the statues are made out of that receive the spark of life that have they get jolted with electricity. But you have to recall that the spark of life is sort of like a singular
it's like a jump start
that happens, and it sort of gets absorbed into the Bubblerite, and then the Bubblerite transmogrifies into something else. Wobox maintains that electricity throughout its active
in order to stay powered up.
Exactly, in order to stay powered up. So Steptanium, a much better conductor for electricity than Bubblerite.
Beautiful.
But both receive it. It's just about how much you can maintain the flow.
I see.
Steptanium is better at maintaining the flow.
Now, from Cat with 9 lives, well, congrats. You still have them all.
The standard.
I noticed that Thrumbles have long and sharp claws. Period. In the human world, animals with long claws evolved them for digging, climbing, grabbing objects, or defending themselves. Do Thrumbles claws have a similar purpose, or are they used for something entirely different?
I can tell you that they're not used for defending themselves because Thrumbles have no natural predators in the monster world. Phew, thankfully. But yes, they are rather
very long,
sizable for
yeah.
a monster of its kind. And it sort of reminds me, if I can dinosaur nerd out for a moment here, about the Therizinosaurus, which was a species of dinosaur. I think it appeared in the most recent JW movie.
Yeah.
But it's got these huge claws, and it was understood to be an herbivore. And it's like, what are these used for?
Yeah.
You know, are those used for defense? Are they used for display? What's do you like my claw happening here? Yeah, that's a Therizinosaurus impression for you there. Anyway,
I'm terrified.
don't worry, it's okay.
Shaking our
It'll be
boots
fine.
over here. Oh my god.
It's safe, Ben. It's safe. Don't worry. Don't go back to sleep. Don't go back to sleep. Stay awake. Oh,
Oh man.
Anyway, no, but they're actually so. Trumbull has this neck that can elongate, right? It's got that stretch neck.
Yeah.
What if I told you that the claws were perfect for driving into cliff faces so that they can rock climb to even achieve even higher heights?
So it's for rock climbing.
It is. Nice. They're for rock climbing. And
okay.
if you happen to be on Bone Island,
for
spelunking, for going down the opposite way, down the side of a cave wall.
Now, I think they would also be great for just like nice little like back scratch or something. In the places
goes
that
without saying. You're absolutely right. Perfect for a scratch, and perfect also for gripping objects.
Yeah.
You know, because its toes, its feet are sort of more formatted like suction cups.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You're right. You're correct.
They're sort of unusually shaped. It's really just the forelimbs that have those big claws.
So it's really made for climbing then.
Specialized, yes. You got it.
And then claws.
So mystery solved.
Beautiful.
Case closed.
Beautiful.
I hope.
Next question.
All right. From Ceris P3394. I've noticed that each epic Wubbox likes the corresponding mythical on each island. Does that mean the epic Wubbox and the mythicals have a special connection with each other?
They do have a special connection with each other, and you know what that connection is?
What?
The epic Wubbox, the plural form, each are acceptable. I don't know why I apologized. Both are acceptable. I'm fine to say Wubboxes if I want. Anyway, each of the epic Wubbox have this special connection with the mythical, and that special connection is they like them a lot.
That's
it's
sweet.
It's not as intensive a lore reason as some might expect, but
so wholesome.
They like them.
Very wholesome.
They like them, and they like them because of the fact that recall that like for a long time mythicals are like, are they real? Are they not? We're not sure.
Right.
And so the fact that like when they come to stay on a given island, and because the epic Wubbox resonates with that island's elemental energy in a particular way, they're like, I'm so happy you chose to stay.
Beautiful. Oh, that's a very wholesome
it's a kinship moment.
You know what,
it's not really a
guys?
lore reason other than just like they get along famously.
You know what, guys? I think I like you guys too.
Wow, if I was Plant Island Epic Wubbox, you'd be my Gajoob.
Oh, thanks.
And you'd be Gajoob number 2.
And then if I was placed, you'd be like hearts everywhere.
Always second.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. All right. Next question from All Hazed Out. Did monsters evolve to have music, or did they discover they could make sounds and put them together for a song?
An excellent question. And the notion of evolution is an interesting one in the monster world as well, right? Because sometimes, and we've talked about this a bit in the past, like, can you design something if you're a colossal?
Right. Yeah.
If you're a colossal, can you design something to have evolved a certain way? Can you imagine an earlier form and that its final form is this way? I think that there's not a clean and simple answer to this. I do think that singing monsters are designed to sing. It's sort of their thing. It's not something that happened accidentally.
Yeah.
It was a very deliberate design choice on the part of the Colossals. And that's, of course, inspired by the Colossals having such success with teaching the Celestials how to sing.
Right.
They're like, this is great. This is going to sort of be our thing now. We're going to base our the entire logic of our world around the universal appeal of music.
Right. Love that.
So it's sort of a like, did they evolve that way? Yes, but because they were designed to evolve that way, they always knew that they were going to be singing monsters.
It's kind of like a natural instinct that they have.
Yes, they're not. They didn't begin life as monsters and became singing monsters. The one exception, of course, the one notable one that I always return to is Nebulob. Nebulobs don't start singing; they learn to sing. It's Nebulob's big day.
Yeah, it really is.
There's Monculus and then there's Nebulob. Nebulob's right in there, sharing the limelight.
Yes, exactly. Also, I forgot to preface before the Q&A, We'll also be picking live questions as well. So if you're asking questions right now, make sure they're lore questions because those are nice and juicy.
Those are the ones we answer.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, but we'll be
and don't answer if all epic. Don't ask if all epic ethereals are going to be releasing simultaneously in Life Formula 2023. No. I know. I'm trolling them. I'm teasing them. Why would we? First of all, I know we're joking around.
We're joking.
I know it was fun. I know it was a
joking.
fun handler helper prank to say, but like, don't you think that would have been kind of the opposite of exciting?
Yeah.
Isn't it more exciting to encounter them one at a time so that each gets their opportunity
You gotta
to
savor
shine?
the bites, you know?
Exactly.
Like it would be over too soon. Like you'd be excited for a day, and then it'd be like,
and then it would be like,
let's care. Yeah.
As it is, this is the launch of the next content stream of the double element epic ethereal. So
that's exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
exciting.
It's the start of something exciting. I remember when Epic Gast first launched during season 11, people were like, okay, I guess the other 14 are next month. No. You gotta be patient. And when you're patient, you're rewarded because each of them are very cool.
Excuse me, we're getting a little off track here.
Sorry.
Sorry.
All right, we'll go back to our last pre-selected question.
All
Thank
right.
you, Monster.
Yes, the last pre-selected
This
one
comes from a VIP.
from Quinn Corti.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Ultimate Creator Quinn.
Yes. Hello, Quinn.
Hello. We know Ethereal Island is one of the oldest islands in the monster world, but has it always been inhabited by a colossal spirit? It wasn't directly affected by the splitting of the continent, so I imagine it's possible it has always been inhabited by its colossal. But perhaps the splitting of the continent had ripple effects that affected the pocket dimension.
Oh, yes.
A long one.
A big one. A big
one.
hefty one. And for it, you may notice that I've had the Yehurikon here perched upon my lap. Last episode of Micing Monsters Live, we had Dr. Warden Spirit's journal. Now we have the Yehurikon, this ancient tome of knowledge of unknown provenance. We don't know where it came from, but it's replete with exciting information. So let me refer quickly to the document to see what it says. Okay, got it.
Fast.
So very fast. I may have looked at it in advance, and I'll give you the gist.
Okay.
I'll give you the gist of it. So, yes, Ethereal Island, the oldest island in the monster world.
Right.
I can say that.
Confirmed.
And I use the monster world to encompass all of its dimensions of reality.
Yes.
But what is interesting is that it served as the prototype sandbox staging area for the main dimension of the monster world. Some of this is alluded to in the Life Formula Island Skin bio, if you take care to read that. And I know that it's all still very fresh and it just happened a few hours ago. But take a look at that as well. But what's interesting is that all of the colossals convened there and sort of designed, some of the prototype draft monsters that we were looking at earlier, the Lobe, the Droa, stuff like that. And then the vast majority of them sort of departed for the main dimension to sort of oversee its development and its formation kind of thing. But the one colossal who originally sort of pioneered the spark of life as sort of an animation mechanism opted at one point to sort of depart from the main dimension and actually seal itself off in that pocket dimension and continues to develop it. And what Life Formula itself is, the island skin, is like a snapshot of that prototype of the proto-ethereal island sort of being molded into its current form.
Well, we do see the time machine briefly go backwards, so
That's
maybe
right.
it's like visualizing kind of what that was like.
It's sort of representational of the fact that what we're seeing is an early constructivist form of Ethereal Island. Now, connected with this idea, though, is like, well, wait a minute. I thought, in this case, I'm your typical erudite handler helper listening in. I thought that the possession, the imbuement of the life force of colossals into land masses was sort of a novel thing when the splitting of the continent happened. And you're right on some regards, but you may recall that the Colosseum is an ancient structure, and that one actually represents the first known case of that in the main dimension.
You're just blowing my mind.
but it may not have been the first instance in the pocket dimension.
Mind blown again.
I know.
A double mind blown.
This ethereal colossal was sort of eccentric, right? Not exactly always vibing with the others. Sort of a bit of a loner, kind of like the Cold Island colossal in that sense. Sort of, worried about how others perceive them, worried about its contributions versus others. But the difference there is that while the Cold Island Colossal sort of wanted that sense of belonging, and then sort of learned to enjoy its aloneness.
Right.
I think the Ethereal Colossal is especially like, I want my own thing. I'm gonna carve out my own little space here. It is valid. Everybody operates differently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't really know how the Ethereal Colossal sort of reacted to, for example, the Enchantler Titan sort of moving into the pocket dimension and setting up Magical Sanctum. But if I had to guess, they're at a sufficient distance from each other that Ethereal Colossal is kind of like, I'm happy for you to do your own thing. I'm happy for me to do my own thing. Let me just continue to revel in my creation.
Right. Got it. Well, there you go.
Yes. Hopefully that answers some of the questions.
Wait.
Do we have any more questions that have been asked by
live questions?
We have live questions.
Oh, I'm excited. All right.
Let's check them out.
All right. I haven't prepared these ones, so
all right,
we'll see what happens.
Well, this one's in all caps, so I'll go for this one.
All right, don't yell.
From Dude Man.
All right.
How do gas eat? Because they're made of plasma. Also, do they have organs? Also, and then it's question mark.
Also.
Yeah.
How do ghasts eat?
They have a mouth.
They're very picky eaters.
Oh, okay.
Just like human world cats. Sometimes you have to shake the bowl a little bit.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to go, oh, okay, I've done some special thing to it, and now you'll eat it. But, of course, I know the question is about the mechanics of how a ghast eats. Yes, it's sort of the, embodiment of the ethereal element of plasma. That doesn't stop it from having organs, but its organs work in a different way. It's basically all about dissolving. Things are sort of like,
right.
Oh.
Yeah,
But rather than being digested, they're sort of immediately, I always sort of envision the plasma element, like the poison element, like the idea of like acidity and things.
I always thought the same.
Dissolving. But of course, there's also the element of ghast sort of being like a ghost, a ghast in the shell, if you will. And so the idea of it sort of like, okay, it just kind of disappears. It's sort of paranormal.
Whoa.
Right? It's kind of spooky. The
Very
ghosts.
spooky. Okay.
So I don't know.
it kind of just
I tell you one thing. I would not volunteer to be shrunk down into a little sub and put into food that a ghast would eat, because I would worry about the integrity of the sub's hull.
But yeah,
sounds like
I tell you that much.
A Ben Sequitur.
That sounds like
what would
something
you do?
That's a perfect kind of question for Ben.
I'm gonna write that down for later.
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful. Next question.
The deep thoughts.
From Gunnar Gabriel. Just as humans need to exercise regularly, do monsters need to make music regularly to keep themselves healthy and creative?
Very cool question.
Earlier in the show today, I was beholding young monster handler Matt and going, look at that young buck, look at that. Well, you couldn't see it because I had the helmet on,
right?
But that full head of hair, that defined jawline, stuff like that, and you think to yourself, man. Back then, I wasn't even exercising. I didn't have to do anything. I just was, right? And then you get older, your metabolism slows down. You know what the frustrating thing about being human is, not being a singing monster, is that singing monsters don't even have to think about singing. They don't have to exercise. They just do it. It's something that, like, they wake up, they start doing it. They go to sleep, they dream about doing it as soon as they wake up.
Not fair.
They do it when they're not thinking. They do it when they are thinking. They sing all the time.
And they get to eat all that junk food,
And
which is not junk food for them. It's healthy food for them.
Yeah, which is perfectly nutritious for them.
Yeah, exactly.
But are not particularly healthy for us.
This is ridiculous.
So it's just I would love to live in the monster world.
Hey man, we can go visit.
Do we need to talk about
that?
I know. Well, I'm very jealous of Monster Handler Allie, who's continuing her exchange program and doing all sorts of exciting things on her compendium of Monstrology series. That's really exciting. I don't know if you haven't had a chance to check that out.
Check that out.
Check it out on our
Check it
YouTube
out.
channel.
Check it out.
In our Handler Hijinks section. An excellent new segment.
New awesome lore and cool art.
Yep. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
I hope she doesn't encounter any or epic maws.
Oh no.
Hopefully not. Next.
It'd be my luck that they'd treat her really nicely, though.
Yeah, no problem. I think it's just you.
It could be. Yeah. I'm a magnet for such behaviors. Oh, well.
Now, from Nurin, if you had to pick one monster to represent you, which one would you be?
Oh, to represent me?
Yeah.
I would like it to be an octopus.
Okay.
Sort of a wise old mon of the forest kind of thing, imparting knowledge kind of thing. But I think more realistically, I'm a potbelly.
Really?
Always talking. Be quiet, Matt. Let someone else speak for a change. But I'm a potbelly, I would say. I aspire to be an octopus.
Right.
But how about you guys? What do you think? Who would you pick?
You know, what comes to mind is Fiddle. Why you ask? Because I feel like this have like a burst of energy sometimes, and I feel like I just get very excited on the show.
I'd say you're a lucky guy.
I am a lucky guy.
Fiddle sort of emanates good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Or Fwog. I like Fwog.
Fwog's a good pick
Fwog's
too.
A cool guy.
Ben, what do you think?
I'll be Pango.
Pango.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good
very chill monster.
Very chill. You know, sometimes, you know, but I don't think that you shared the Pango quality of low self-esteem. I think that you have very high esteem because you deserve it. Ben,
yeah,
you
Ben.
rock.
All right. Good comments to Ben in the comments. Go Ben. Go
Ben.
Go Ben. Go. All right. Oh, okay. Next question.
From Wannabe Wyvern. Same. Great name. And same.
Who wouldn't want to be a wyvern?
Yeah.
The Dragon Tower decoration mentions it's made of dragon parts. How did the monsters get these parts? And what are the dragons of the monster world like?
Ooh. There may be some multiversal mischief at work here. The Dragon Tower is actually a callback to an earlier Big Blue Bubble game, some other dimension of the Stablo Miehuricha that our Finders Keep game is set in. That is the Dragon Tower. The dragon parts, did they tumble through a wormhole? Was it some sort of break in the continuity of time and space continuum? Who knows? Was it a byproduct of Dr. Warden E. Spirit's mechanism, randomly opening wormholes? I don't know. But they sort of settled there in the monster world, and they were used to build the Dragon Tower.
There you go. There. We have 2 more questions to answer. This is from Clam Drown. Clams drown?
I don't think they can. I believe there are a lot of creatures.
That might be impossible.
Yes.
It's oxymoronic. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
How did Starhenge become a celestial island as it is now? Did the continental drift drastically reduce how Starhenge once used to be?
So the Colossals are very clever in the sense that they had the battery, if you want to call it that, of Starhenge source its power, its energy from an orbital relationship with the monster world and with the continent specifically. When the continent broke apart, when it splintered, when there was the great cataclysm, the battery power of Starhenge was like, oh, okay, we're running on battery power now. It was like a big generator kind of thing, right? So it continued to sort of rumble along for a long time. Those Colossals are very clever with their clockwork and their machinery and stuff like that, in addition to the animation and designing of organic life as well.
Yes, of course.
But that big piece of clockwork in the sky sort of ran on its own steam for a long time based on that battery power, but then it finally ran out of juice, and over that time the Celestials started to petrify, and they sort of started to lose their essence, their life force as well. But when Starhenge tumbled to Earth and sort of settled perfectly into an unknown, heretofore unknown colossal, that's when sort of that old connection with the monster world was sort of revived, and that's how we sort of broke the Celestials out of their petrified forms and were able to revive them. So that's sort of point A to point B there.
Would you like to read the last question of the Q?
The final question.
The final question.
Anyway,
we're gonna be copyright struck if we go any further.
We're gonna go
Stop.
for it.
No, do it.
absolutely not.
All right.
From Luther, do the colossi structures actually wake up the colossals, or are they just holograms? If they really do wake them up, how do they wake them up?
It hadn't occurred to me that they were holograms. Are they real, or are they just sort of projected there? They are important. They are, you know, artifacts of power, and they are connected to the waking state of the colossals. You know, any time there's something that sort of has that old world imagery, I think that it harkens back to or is connected to like really ancient sort of contingency plans and systems that the colossals had in place. I think of like the amber sets that are sort of contained within those sort of canopic chest-looking things. The fact that they sort of resemble canopic jars themselves. You know, some of the imagery on Colosseum as well sort of evokes the ancient human world. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, which sort of seems like the colossals were prepared for a day where they might one day fall out of harmony with each other and fall asleep.
Right.
And so I think that the colossi are sort of an extension of that, sort of a fail-safe mechanism put in place where it's like, okay, worst case scenario, if we do all fall asleep, through the combined energy and interest of the handler-helper dedication and the interest that is injected and infused into the monster world, that's how they can return to a waking state.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, well, that wraps up.
But they could be holograms. Who knows?
That wraps up our Q&A, and I believe we're going to be going into our showcase. Now, before we play it, because we'll be reacting to this one.
I see.
This is a TikTok from an account called Dilio, I believe it's pronounced. And yeah, you can start it now. I'll turn it, Jen. And we have them recreating Amber Island, and what they did was, day after day, they kind of just added a monster, and this is what they ended up with Amber. What's your reaction on that?
Do you know how difficult this would be?
Very difficult, and the dedication as well.
For to not fall off the timing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's all still like together.
Yeah, like you can tell it's Amber Island. Like it's not just like a bunch of noise.
Yeah, like it's identifiably. Like I don't know if Dilio made use of like a metronome or what their click track was.
There goes
their process.
The element.
The element.
This is a 6x6 grid.
Yeah, and they did it.
You paid attention. Sorry.
Now, and like the dedication, like I was saying before, is like crazy because
I heard Pong Ping. Yeah.
Oh.
very well done, because the dedication is crazy because they didn't just like do this all in one day. They just like one a day, and then they slowly built it together.
It's kind of like how Amber Island, the Amber Island song was created, right? It was sort of, you know, in phases and bits and pieces, waves, if you will.
Now, and if I'm correct, Dilio is in the middle of doing their magical sanctum, so if anyone wants to support them in their journey, you can head over there. And
I also like the fact that, like, you know, it looks like sometimes is the outfit that Dilio is wearing different ones, and other props or different things happening there too.
Cool art.
I got a dog in one of them.
Oh my gosh, this is a dog! All the artwork in front of each of his videos, they're actually like custom, so I don't know if that was maybe it was like a community thing.
Anyway, excellently well done, Dilio 930.
Yes.
We love your Amber Island cover.
we love it. We love seeing those like formatted videos. So if anyone else is like feeling creative and want to recreate any
and remember, you know, to quote a favorite author of mine, initials KV.
Okay.
And this is perfect for Life Formula.
Okay, beautiful.
You know, the act of creation is something that no one can take away from you.
Exactly.
It doesn't actually even really matter how good it is, the final product. The fact that you've made something is like rewarding in and of itself, and like no one can take that away from you, right? Like, so the journey is almost more important than the destination there in creating stuff. And of course, Life Formula, it's all about the act of creation. It's all about being inspired, inspiring worlds of creativity, stuff like that.
Yes, exactly.
So
the thought of like something not existing and then you've made it exists,
right?
It's like so cool.
And it doesn't even, and it doesn't have to be original. Obviously, Dilio put like, the original spin on Ember Island because it was their own performances. But like, you see something that inspires you, make something that's an offshoot of that.
Exactly.
That belongs to that world, or is that, adjacent to that world.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to make those, tag us on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts and stuff. We would love to check them out.
And what's the hashtag?
Hashtag.
Do we have one?
No.
Masterpiece?
Hashtag Monsterpiece.
Masterpieces.
Sorry.
Yes.
I feel like in the past we had like a creator showcase one, but Masterpiece is the more reliable one to add.
Yes.
Well, we'll definitely be checking for that one specifically.
Anyway, that concludes our showcase, our creator showcase.
Okay. But that's not all. That's not all.
What? We're not done?
As per usual on this edition of My Singing Monsters Live, we do a bit of a sneak peek about what's coming on the first weekend of the seasonal event. And perhaps we can launch right in with the first one of those, Jen. Oh my gosh! Look what it is. It's Electric Feel.
Whoa!
It's 50% off Webbox on all islands.
You're pulling my leg.
Well, I'm not. But Monculus's leg sort of looks like it's being pulled there.
Actually,
Don't you like this? It's like they're doing the YMCA together or something. They got this. They got this move. There's the Monculus sort of matching Webbox's classic pose there. And now these two monsters, who sort of I would say are kindred spirits of a kind, can finally interact on both Ethereal and on Weblin Island. Now, of course, Weblin Island is depicted in the sale image for this particular promotion because, of course, Webbox on Weblin Island now costs that sweet cheddar, that 75 million coin. So you're going to want to take advantage of a sale like this because it doesn't come around all that often. That's the first one. That's our seasonal sale. But as part of Month of the Mythical, we have a bunch of special sales loading. And that's we're running back again here with the second nature promotion, in which all natural rares are available to buy or breed in the market on their respective islands.
Beautiful.
Now, this is excellent, of course, because it means that you can pad out your collection with some rares that you're missing. But as you can see in the background there, it's also the perfect opportunity to zap those rare monster eggs into your brand new rare Blipsqueak. Once you've unlocked the evolutionary potential of a Blipsqueak on your island, on Weblin Island, and you can start evolving it into that form. That's tomorrow. A reminder: this is the preview. Of the sales
not happening quite
tomorrow. Next up, it's the oh my goodness! Can you believe it? How does the time fly? It's your last chance to collect these particular vessels, the vessel set of Bangler, Waddle, Snizer, Candelabra, and your rerun choice Flugel as part of the May set of the Quintessence promotion. The June set is coming next Wednesday the 14th. Which monsters will it include? I don't know, save for one. We know of one that is coming, of course, and that is the rerun poll winner this time, and I believe by a landslide, it was Yelmet. So Yelmet will be your rerun choice for the June vessel set. But what will the double, the triple, the quad, the quint be? You'll have to wait and see until next week.
Right.
You'll have to wait.
I guess we'll wait.
Yes, but last chance. So if you're gonna revitalize them, do them in the next 7 days.
Do it.
These are things. Yes, exactly. And of course, guess whose birthday it is tomorrow?
No, it hasn't been a year already.
It's been a year already since our friend the final fire quad to be discovered, Pong Ping, is going to be 50% off in Dawn of Fire.
So you're telling me it's been a year since I got my butt kicked by Pong Ping and Ping Pong?
It has been one calendar year.
Oh yeah,
It was a year and a day, I think.
It was quite the it was quite the news in the studio.
And I know that it's something that you prided yourself on, and so it was a little bit of an ego hit to be totally whooped by Pong Ping. Yeah. But if there's someone that you're going to lose ping pong to, it's Pong Ping.
Yes, they're the most sportsmanlike and
an excellent good sport. Definitely not a sore winner or a sore loser, and someone to emulate.
Yeah,
someone to look up to.
It gave me tips afterwards. Like
exactly, very kind, very thoughtful.
Yes.
So there you go. There's your sneak peek. There's your preview.
Beautiful.
Of what's coming.
Very nice.
Tomorrow, in terms of special offers and promotions in the Monster World, across My Singing Monsters and in Dawn of Fire.
Fantastic.
There you go. So we're kissing up to the end of our show today.
Does that mean Benny will be powering down soon, or like what's gonna
I guess
happen?
so.
Oh, no.
I'm feeling it.
Oh no!
No.
He's
Well. What if I were to tell you that as part of the ongoing Month of the Mythical special event that's running right now, there's new content every week.
Oh my
There's fan
gosh.
favorite sales, and of course, you should continue to vote in the Make a Mythical community challenge polls that we're running on our YouTube channel. So, an important note that I want to clarify here. We post about the polls on each of our social media channels to let you know that they're happening, but the final votes are being tabulated based on the results of the YouTube polls specifically. So if you're there in the comment section on Facebook or on Twitter going, I vote insectoid, that's good.
That's awesome.
I'm glad that you've told us.
Great.
But make sure to actually cast your vote on the YouTube poll, because that's the one that that's the official one.
That's what counts.
Yes, exactly.
That's what
That
counts.
is what counts. And also, I do want to say too, not only is a bunch of new stuff coming in game, we're also having a bunch of new series and stuff coming on like YouTube.
That's right.
And new content on YouTube and TikTok. So, keep an eye out for that. I won't spoil what kind of series we got going on.
Yes, but that first one hosted by Monster Handler Alley that I've seen.
Yes, that was a
is
taste.
An excellent one. A taste of what's to come.
Of phase 2 of
my gosh, we're like this is the MCU, but the M stands for Monsters. And the C stands for Compendium.
Compendium.
The Monster Compendium universe.
Yes,
I don't know.
Exactly.
Yes, it was.
So,
I will say, in the early days of us thinking about the future of My Singing Monsters, we were throwing around the idea of calling it the Monsterverse, but I believe the ill-fated Dark Universe was maybe going to use that as a word, as a name. So we didn't want to step on any toes there. And I also think that it is used to date in the Godzilla King Kong stuff. So better to sort of just use Monster World as our blanket cover.
The Monster World is expanding in terms of YouTube and TikTok content.
It's very exciting.
It's very exciting.
And there's one final thing that I wanted to mention as well. Later in the month of the Mythical, we have a special little behind the scenes documentary that we're working on. Don't want to give away too much, but look for it later this month during Month of the Mythical. I think it'll be a really cool opportunity for you, the handler helpers, the My Singing Monsters community, to see a little bit of what it's like to make a mythical.
Yeah.
It's a great sneak peek, or not sneak peek. It's a great peek in.
It is. To peel back the layers.
Yes.
And to analyze and to learn more about the exciting stuff, the fun job that we get to have as monster handlers.
Exactly.
Okay. I think that's about it.
That's everything.
One final, it's something that I always say, and I think it continues to bear repeating. Please exercise patience, understanding, and maturity. If you are sending in a support ticket, if you are trying to get a transfer progress procedure in place, it's been a long time that our monster handler community engagement team has been worked to the bone, cranking out all of those replies, doing so very, very diligently and very thoroughly. So continue to be the awesome community that I know you are.
Yes. Exactly.
And we thank you in advance for being awesome.
Thanks for being awesome.
So, yeah, this episode of My Stinging Monsters Live is the June 2023 Volume 1.
Volume.
Volume 1.
Yeah, we're gonna do. It's gonna be like April. It's like April all over again.
What a roller coaster.
This is episode 1. Volume 1. Episode June. You know how you call it? So it's episode June. This is the June 2023 Volume 1 episode of My Singing Monsters Live.
Yes.
It's almost certain that there will be Volume 2 coming later this month. What could that be for? Bah, indeed. So stay tuned as per usual to all of our social media channels. Check out stuff in game. There's all sorts of exciting stuff because it's month of the Mythical 2.
Yeah.
Check that out. And I don't know. I think we've come to the end.
I think we've come to the end.
So without much further ado, do you have something else to say?
No, I was getting ready.
Okay, he was priming up. All right.
All right.
1 second.
Okay.
Let's give Ben some extra spark of life energy here for the final. Oh my gosh! Look, he's absorbing it up.
I realized my mic.
All right.
Yes.
So, all right, we're ready.
Yes.
Here we go. Thanks for joining us and
Happy monstering!